Hello, I'm Bruce Harders, and this is Voices in the Village. Today we have Rob Henry with us, one of the instructors at the Saddleback Emeritus Institute. And here to introduce him to us is Dan Predale, who heads up the Institute. Dan, thanks for dropping by and welcome to Voices in the Village.
Bruce, thanks again for having me back. It's a pleasure to be here today. I'm happy to introduce Rob Henry today as your guest. Rob has been a long-time instructor for us in the Emeritus Institute. As he'll talk a little bit more, he serves as an instructor both in the Health Sciences Department on campus at Saddleback, but has also been an instructor particularly for the Healthy Aging classes within the Emeritus Institute.
Well, Rob, welcome to Voices in the Village too.
Thank you, Bruce. I'm delighted to be here.
Thanks for coming by. Well, Rob, you're a RN by nature and profession, but you're a multifaceted person too. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, where you're from, and how it became that you would be right here today?
I'm mystified myself, Bruce. But we started out Fort Morgan, Colorado, moved to California, did most of my growing up in Brea, California. Prepared for hard sciences and graduated from Cal State Fullerton, later on from UCLA, and was prepared to go into geology, and later on was prepared to go into psychiatry or psychology. Neither one would pay anything, didn't have a career, didn't have a job. A community college instructor way back in the day reached out to me and said, "You'd make an excellent nurse." I said, "No, I wouldn't." She said, "Yes, you would." And she drafted me into a community college and kicking and screaming made me become an RN. I can't believe it actually happened, and that was over 30 years ago now.
Oh my goodness.
So my nursing career has gone from working in hospitals to then I came on board about 28 years ago and became a professor, a traditional professor on campus at Saddleback College. Mm-hmm. And about 8 years ago, someone suggested that I split my load between traditionally teaching the 22-year-olds, 24 years olds on campus, and teaching an emeritus, where probably the average age is maybe 80. And I thought that sounded interesting, so I did it. Mm-hmm. And now I split my load between the two worlds, which is an incredible compliment, positive compliment, one to the other.
How would you compare the environments and the challenges at the Saddleback campus versus here in beautiful Laguna Woods?
Oftentimes seniors think that the younger students have all the edge on everything. They're young and they're going to be quicker, and from my experience, well, let's start from this angle. When I became a college professor, I thought that it was going to be very rewarding, have these Socraterian discussions with people all the time, and young students, as soon as class was over, were always fleeting and out the door. Then I came to work for Emeritus and started teaching Emeritus classes. And I was engaged in relationships, conversations that would not end. People were not afraid to ask questions. The class lingered. It flowed over into coffee shops afterwards. And the discussion was very deep and very lively. And all of a sudden I was fulfilled. Everything I ever wanted to be a college professor and thought would happen, it didn't happen until I started teaching seniors who had the confidence and the life skills to ask the questions and interact in a different way than my younger students. They'll get there, but they just quite don't have that sense of relationship yet.
Really kind of an exciting surprise for you, wasn't it?
Very fulfilling, and the place I'm in today, unbelievable. If you asked me to design an environment to teach in that is more positive, I would be hard-pressed in my wildest imagination to come up with anything better than teaching for Emeritus.
Well, I understand you teach one of the most popular colleges in the system. Tell us about that. What exactly are you teaching?
Well, Saddleback College, first of all, is a premier college, and I'm honored to be a part of that when I look around at my peers. On campus, I teach health science classes related to nursing, physician's assistant, medical assisting, and so forth. Then when I come to Emeritus, I teach, if I was to sum it up, classes around the physiology of aging, the changes that go on in the human body, why people develop gastroesophageal reflux disease, why do people get leg cramps in the night, what's congestive heart failure, what does diet really do, and do you really need supplements? We talk about the part of exercise and diet and an active lifestyle and psychiatry and psychology, just anything that can come up from that audience. And people, since they have such a breadth of experience, and this is happening to them, they want answers, and they're no longer afraid to ask questions. So my classes, very robust, very interactive.
Do you have a feeling that the folks in Laguna Woods are a little more ahead of the curve in terms of being psychologically well-founded or adjusted to what they're doing compared to all those elderly people out there?
Well, first of all, in my classes, I don't have any elderly. I have seniors.
You have seniors.
I have seniors.
Sorry for
and
using
no. And are they ahead of the curve? I'm teaching the choir in this one. The people that come to emeritus classes are the ones that are out, they're engaged, they're active, they're doing. Matter of fact, it's so important to see that section of the society that nursing students, the 22, 24-year-olds from Saddleback, actually come to emeritus classes to see what it is to interact with, oh, I can't believe I'm saying this, normal seniors. Because when you're a nursing student, you're oftentimes in an extended care facility, seeing people bedridden, people with all sorts of disabilities and infirmants. And we bring our nursing students to interact at emeritus and on grounds at Laguna Woods Village to be able to set the standard for where normal seniors should be at 80, 90, 100. One semester I had, my youngest student was on campus. He was 16 years old. He was on waiver from Trabuco Hills High School because he was pre-med. The same semester, my oldest student was an emeritus student here at Laguna Woods Village, and he was 101.
How did the chemistry work between those two people in a class?
Well, they weren't in the same class at the same time. I'm the one that goes through the gyration of leaving one and going to the other.
I see.
But I have to tell you, it's kind of like whipped cream on chocolate. Both are really good, and it accents one to the other.
Interesting. Well, what is the normal question out there always is, what's the secret of a successful aging?
I could write a book of what my students have told me over the years, but I'm thinking of a man that was very revered by me, and I ask him that question. That's one of my favorite questions to students. Yeah. You need to avoid the aggravation. Avoid the aggravation.
You mean the aggravations in life? In the
aggravating people, aggravating situations, pass over those and get into positive ones. So Laguna Woods Village, I consider to be a village filled with immigrants. Immigrants from around the United States, other places, who come here to optimize their life. And if you ask if I think they're ahead of the curve, absolutely. I am confident, and emeritus is part of this, that people live longer and live better participating in all the offerings at Laguna Woods Village.
So I guess you're also saying busy people who can avoid getting upset over people and things and whatever.
Busy people, active people, here's passionate people. People that have passions, that have never lost their passions. People that have always wanted to realize a passion they had for art or for music or for understanding philosophy. And they come to emeritus classes, and it's never too late. Part of the mission statement of Saddleback College, if you turn over any of our pamphlets, any of our schedules, on the back it says the Saddleback College mission statement, and it's education throughout the life process. And that whole scope, it's never too late to gain education.
It's you've seen a lot of people in your life lose their passion, I suppose.
4 cornerstones I have in my classes. I would talk to you about, you need good nutrition, you need good diet, you need good genetics, but you also need passion. And when people lose their passion, they're missing one of the chief components that translates into not just longevity, but quality of life.
It sounds like most of the folks that you're dealing with in Laguna Woods do have passion.
Here's the turnaround for me. I came in thought I was going to be teaching them. They're teaching me. If I should be blessed to live so long, I have learned so much about what it is to retire successfully that it's a college education in and of itself.
Well, that's a good summary of a lot of things you've been talking about. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this time's experience with Voices in the Village. I'm Bruce Harders, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.